wouldn't you say that gay people are made in the image of God? Because if God didn't...
Well, I'm not advocating murdering you. What I'm advocating is stop being such a hypocrite. Homosexuals are hypocrites. When they say love is love, like if people are running around saying love is love, you would think they would be like hardcore against abortion. Because what's more unloving than abortion?
Because that's not something I participate in.
Well, then love isn't love.
No, because that's not my opinion.
Like your little, like love your neighbor as yourself. Your littlest, most innocent neighbor who's done nothing wrong to anyone is the one that's being killed. Why not love them? See, I go out and do this in all sorts of different contexts, right? Colleges, high schools, city streets, arts festivals. You want to know where the most unloving crowd is?
Yes, we are. The Oklahoma Pride Fest is the biggest pride event in Oklahoma of the year, and it's advertised as being safe for children. Well, it wasn't.
Ma'am.
No thanks, you're a piece of
That's not very loving and accepting.
You want to be a Christian, a Baptist, go back to your goddamn research.
Don't mock me like that, man.
Don't mock you like what? You think you're a woman? Maybe I'm more of a woman than you.
God loves everybody, actually. Did you know that?
Yes, he loves them so much that he actually, when he looked down and saw all of our sin and our wickedness, he said, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to die for them and show them a way to be returned to me.
Everybody. I'm not even religious, and I know that.
Well, do you think God died for people who rejected him? Like if he said, hey.
God died for everybody, period. He loves everybody equally.
So you believe in God?
No.
So.
These people are living happy lives.
Are they?
Yes.
I don't know if that's true. I think people that are cut off from God.
Women, and I love it. I love my life.
Your life is totally happy?
Yep.
You think you're good? So when you stand before God and you say, hey.
Then I will make my amends as I need.
Well, no, but he's, so like, I'm not
everybody.
I'm not a mean guy, but let me just say, right now.
That's funny. Love thy neighbor. That's
right. That's why if I didn't love you, I'd stay home and I wouldn't tell you what I believe is to be true.
If you truly loved your neighbors, you wouldn't be hating this.
Why is this hateful?
Calling people date rapists.
No, that's not calling you a date rapist. That's saying date rapists love abortion.
I love abortion.
You love abortion?
I love the
so
idea
you
that
have,
I have the freedom to my body.
You have that in common with the date rapist, because the date rapist also doesn't want the responsibility of caring for a child.
You guys need to get the fuck out of here.
Say, for instance, he said, get the F out of here. See, that's an example of hate. What we're doing here is an example of dialogue. Wait.
That's my sibling, so you can shut the fuck up.
See, now you're yelling.
Yeah.
Just because it's the biggest fucking cult in the country doesn't mean it's not a cult.
You don't even know where I go to church.
Listen, God is very clear. He says, love people enough to tell them the truth. And the truth is that people who die in their sin are separated from God. And so he's made a way. And he's actually said those who are saved.
Accept God into your heart, you are
what does that look like? What does it look like?
Members, we're not changing their minds. Let's leave them alone.
Hey, don't run around and say we're being hateful. But you guys are being very hateful and judgmental.
Being intolerant of intolerance is not the same thing.
But why would we go to a pride event and talk to people about abortion?
What's this for?
I just do this. I'm a Christian.
What are y'all protesting?
I'm not protesting. My signs aren't protesting.
By the way, lots of people at this event, men like this, tried very hard to block our cameras, so sorry in advance about that.
Could you explain the sign to us?
Yes, I will. Every time I try, there's a lot of yelling.
Sorry, young man puts me in.
There's yelling and there's this closed-minded bigotry.
Well, what does it mean?
The sign means this. I believe our culture talks a big game about caring about oppressed people. That there are groups of people that we need to stick up for. We need to speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. They're being mistreated. I think a mistreated group are my preborn neighbors. So I want to advocate for them in the public square. And I want to say, it's edgy, but I believe it's true. Our culture sins greatly against these preborn babies.
How are we sinning against these preborn babies?
By writing laws that allow them to be murdered. And by culturally approving their murder and saying it's a good thing. Or saying that it's key to female liberation. I don't think it is.
But What if a woman was to get pregnant by rape? Would
Punish-
they not have the choice to
Punish the
abandon that baby,
rapist.
though?
Punish the rapist. Protect the child.
It could happen for
I
you.
drew this. This actually, what's funny, if people slow down and they're willing to think, this doesn't really have to do with homosexuality. I think the rainbow is a symbol of God's grace. Like he said, I put a rainbow in the sky so that you will know that I'm going to have grace. And I want you not to murder one another, but I will not send a flood. I'm going to be long-suffering and patient because I want many of you to come to know me. Don't murder each other because you're made in the image of God. But when you see the rainbow, it should remind you of God's grace. And then later on, like a bow pointed to heaven, the judgment was poured out on God. Preborn human beings are marginalized, oppressed, and destroyed in our culture, under our laws, and with the approval of most people. I'm saying, don't freak out, but the LGBTQ community pretends like they're oppressed when they are in no way, shape, or form anywhere near as oppressed as preborn humans. So I think that calls into question the claims of social justice and love is love. Love isn't, you don't believe in love if you don't love the littlest little babies in our culture.
I believe in love.
Do you love love preborn babies?
In loving people that are already alive. And
Human
if there's
beings.
an issue, if somebody can't take care of a baby, or if somebody
Scientifically.
if there's some reason that somebody can't have like a child, they can't take care of it.
Yeah,
If they want
don't murder it.
That's
Yeah.
not murder. If there's some reason that somebody can't have like a child, they can't take care of it.
I think there are all sorts of difficulties in this life, and answering them with murder is not right.
Go get pregnant, and then we can really care about chat about it.
I can't get pregnant. No amount of delusion.
So,
Yeah.
get pregnant.
Do you think
Fucking business.
do you think males can get pregnant? Y'all got real quiet real quick.
You've been quiet this whole fucking time. Yeah,
I'm just wondering if I'm talking to people who are like got an active engagement with their minds and they're thinking, do you think that males, biological males, can get pregnant? Why can't you just answer that question?
I'm a minor and I'm
Hey, try not to bump me. I'm not hurt or anything, but
I'm not.
hey, you should.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Well, you're blocking his camera.
Yeah, knowingly.
Is it the hatred of freedom of speech and expression, or what?
Of course, it wasn't just the attendees who were trying to hinder our speech.
Hey Russell,
How's it
I know
going?
that we've had kind of,
Yeah.
interactions
Grant.
in the past.
Yeah, nice to
okay.
see you. Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm not trying to make this a bigger deal than what it already is.
Oh, I don't think we're doing anything.
No, you're not allowed to pass out printed material at the park. It's a park rule. So if it's a park rule, we can enforce that and ask you guys to leave. I printed this for you, and it basically says you're not allowed to pass out printed material without prior approval.
I mean, I think if people walk by and you're like, do you want this? I think even given your rules, you can do that.
Russell, I'm just here to inform you of the park rules.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm saying I can say that. Do you want one of these? And if they say no, I say, okay.
Russell, I'm just here to tell you the park
But
rules.
that is okay?
Russell, you are not allowed to pass
I'm asking you
out
for clarification
printed
on the
material.
rule.
If someone wants to come to you and say, hey, can I have one of those? Yes, you can.
Right, so to understand the park rule, if I said to someone who walked right here, I say, hey, you want one of these?
If he wants it, sure, Russell.
And if
That's
they
what
say
I'm saying.
no, I just say, okay,
Sure.
that's fine.
I
Okay,
have no problem with
that's
that.
all we ever do.
Okay.
Yeah, so why are you bringing the rule to us that we never break that rule? We're not
Because-
wandering
because,
around.
Yes, one of your people in your group was doing that, and that's why I tried to have a
Well,
conversation.
what
with him.
was he going up and saying, do you want one of these?
I watched him go up to someone.
So
and
we
do that.
can't do that.
You can't.
You just
if
said we
you're
could.
standing there and you have your signs and you want to hold up your sign and someone wants to come and take that.
Well, no. So I'm on my way to get a sandwich, and I'm walking, and I see someone. They're like, "What's that about?" And I'm like, "You want one of these?" If she says no, you don't force her to take it.
Correct.
You just keep it. If she says yes, you give it to her.
Yeah.
Is that
I'll be
breaking a
honest with you,
rule?
I'll get clarification.
Because
on
that's
that.
what that guy was probably doing.
Grant here is in charge of the team that harassed us last year, which you can watch in this video, and we appreciate that they have largely corrected their former behavior, and that he's treated us mostly with kindness, but he's totally wrong here.
Can I offer you guys one of these? Can I offer you guys one of these? There you go. Thank you. Sir? Sir? You want?
What Grant doesn't understand is that handing out literature is a clearly protected form of free speech, as has been confirmed by Supreme Court decisions like Murdoch v. Pennsylvania, and is not considered soliciting as per United States v. Kokinda. Not only that, But any ruling that was made by Scissortail Park or the Oklahoma City Council would be invalidated by the clear protections offered in the First and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution, as well as the 22nd Amendment of the Oklahoma Constitution. We can do any of the things we were doing here as long as it's on public property.
Because there's nothing down here that isn't city property. Well, like this, we're in Oklahoma City.
Okay, now we're going down a whole
No, I'm not
rabbit
arguing
hole,
with you. I'm just saying,
I
is this public property?
I just want to have a conversation with you in person, and if you want to do that, I'm more
Yeah.
than welcome to invite you to my office.
Well, I
have
think
that
we
talk.
see eye to eye enough. You just don't want us walking around. I'm saying side that in your own time. The question of why laws or rules, statutes or whatever, would be written to prohibit people from walking around and passing things out. Why do you think that's
above my
Yeah.
pay grade, and I'm not.
And that's the one I'm saying that if you go to the Supreme Court says, no, people can do that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
That's above my pay grade.
But it's just a park rule, and Grant is just doing his job, I hear you say. Except,
I have a question for you.
That we create.
Has anyone from Scissortail Park
Because as you
come
guys
around
know,
and
it's
told y'all you
liberation.
can't pass
It's all
those out?
about love and self-actualization.
No, they haven't.
Hey, did you know, so you just handed this to me, which is totally cool. But you know they told us it's against the rules. Wait, hey, I just want to know. So when you've been walking around handing these to people, no, I want it, thank you. Did anyone ever come up to you and say you're not allowed to do that? No. Of course not. So I seriously don't usually do this, but. Would you like one of these? Would you like one of these? You guys want some of these? Just pass them out to only people who want them. You guys want some material? You guys want some crazy subversive literature?
Oh my God, yes.
It's challenging.
of course, it's not the handing out of the literature that they oppose, it's the content of the literature.
Get out of here before I get killed. You guys want some literature?
They'll try anything to stop that message, like stealing our signs.
Right. Is that not a punishment?
Yeah. Well, you take a picture of it?
Yeah.
Or with it? Yeah. But don't run off with it, because that would be uncool. I'm gonna trust you. All right, don't run off with it. Okay. All right. You just in just like 2 seconds, you proved that you're an untrustworthy person. All right. Yeah. Go ahead and get a picture. Make sure to take. This is a picture of an abortion at 11 weeks.
Okay. Oh, there's two.
Yeah. There you go. But don't run off with it, okay? All right. All right. Okay. I had a little bit of an open mind exchange there with someone who wanted to very calmly steal the sign.
Shouting us down.
Can we give you all one of these?
Don't talk to them.
I'll talk.
Don't talk to my children.
Do you want one?
No. Don't.
That's not very nice.
Don't yell at people, ma'am. It's mean and rude. That's not very loving.
In your book, doesn't it say to love everyone?
Yeah, we are trying to love you and
You're
share the
not.
love. We're trying to share the love of
You're
God.
not. Don't fucking talk to my children. Oh, you talk to my fucking kids? What is wrong with you?
I don't know who your kids are.
Don't talk to them. Any of them.
We're here to share the love of God.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, that God loves
Okay.
sinners so much.
Okay,
God-
she's a
or God-
lesbian. Do you love her?
Yes.
No, you don't. I'm
Why-
bisexual.
why are you just
Do
assuming?
you love me?
Yes.
No, you
I wanna
don't.
love my
Because
neighbor as
anybody
myself.
that wants to believe that bullshit book of yours can go f themselves.
Well, that's not very loving.
I don't give a shit. You're not loving.
Y'all, do not talk to them. Well, guess what? Your little sky daddy, no one fucking likes him. Like, really?
because you're living in rebellion to him.
Don't talk to my children.
Ma'am, you pretend like you care about your children, but you bring them here. You're a hypocrite.
Blocking our cameras.
But I will say, I get what you are doing, but like at the same time, no one's gonna listen to y'all. I'm sorry. I sat here and listened to you, but y'all can't force anything.
Stealing our signs again.
It was that person that just stole a sign from us. He's running down that way.
Hey, if you just give it back, nothing's gonna happen to you. Just give it back. If you give it back, nothing will happen to you. I promise we will not press. We won't press charges. Just give it back.
You can't press charges.
You're stealing.
Press charges.
I designed that sign, I made it, and I paid.
Burn in hell, you're a bigot of Jesus.
No, you're...
But unfortunately, after running a mile just to catch up with the thief...
Russell? It's okay, man.
Dang it! Not every day you get bested by a man that doesn't claim he has a penis.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
I need a volunteer. I found my perfect contestant. What is your name for the children?
My name is Julia.
For the children? Seriously?
Everybody say hello, Julia. Hi, Julia. I'm Naomi. You look like you can strut it out.